I want to share with you this awesome Modus plugin by Physical Audio, which is great for creating dark, spooky, and kind of mystical, magical sounds. Here, take a listen. So big shout out to Physical Audio for sending me this plugin and sponsoring this video, as it has been a ton of fun to play with. So what exactly is going on here and how do you use this thing? Because it looks a little overwhelming, but it's actually pretty simple and easy to use. So this is a Physical Audio modeled plugin versus like your typical synthesizer with oscillators and filters and so forth. So what you got here is something that's modeling the way strings and plates, metal plates, would interact with each other when struck. And by the way, if you decide you want to get your hands on this, it's actually 50% off between November 18th and December 1st of this year. So if you want to check it out, go to orpheusaudioacademy.com/modus or click my link in the description below so you can take advantage of that Black Friday deal. So this synth is really great for creating any kind of like ambient, spooky, mystical, dreamy kind of sounds, or if you're just wanting to add a more like physical texture, analog texture to your music. So how do you use this thing? You've got these three different modes here. You have strings and plates, and plates. So strings, this is up to 5 voices, as you can have multiple different strings. You have the strings plate here, which is basically your mono or duo voicing mode, which involves strings and plates interacting together. Then you have just plates here, which I believe goes up to 16 voices, and you can see it's different plates interacting together. So if you look at the strings first, one string is plucked and then the other strings resonate, and the string that's coming towards you is the plucked string and the horizontal string here is the resonator. And you can see they're connected by these different springs here. So right here are where the connections are. So you can click here for the springs, or you can click here for, I believe these are called rattles. And so these are a little bit more jarring. These are a little bit smoother. The difference here. That's pretty cool. So you can hear when the springs are connected, it's a lot smoother. And then when you have these rattles, you got more kind of like echoing kind of sounds going on. So you can add strings, right? I'll show you that in a second. But first, let's look at how you can like adjust the tone of these different strings. So here's string 1. This is the plucked string here. And so you got your dampening here. So that's basically what it sounds like. How dampened is the string going to be after it's plucked? So no dampening, you get lots of that resonance echoing. And you get your tones. You want it to be darker or lighter. Pretty straightforward. And you get your typing here. You can have it set more towards bar or string. And of course, you can probably imagine how it would be fun to automate all these different controls. There's not a ton of automation in the plugin itself, but you can set it up easy in your DAW to automate these different controls, and that's really cool. By the way, if you want help finishing more music faster and at professional quality standards, so it stacks up with all your favorite artists, then be sure to grab my free mixing checklist in the description below, or go to orpheusaudioacademy.com/mixing checklist. Not only does this have like handy EQ and compression checklists inside of it, but it also gives you a step-by-step system for how to go about mixing your songs, so you never have to wonder what to do next, and you can finish more music faster and have it sound amazing. So grab this free checklist in the description below, or go to orpheusaudioacademy.com/mixing checklist. With that, back to the video. Then you have stretch here, which determines how the different harmonics are spread out along the string. So if you pull it down, that makes a huge difference. And your position here is this is determining where the string is plucked at, and then where the pickup is, where the microphone is. And this can really change the sound a lot too. And you can control the plucking, hard versus soft. So this would be really hard. So that's pretty cool. Then you got your normal attack and release. And then you can edit the second string. So you got tuning here, again, your tone, dampening, your type, and then mass ratio. That is the mass of the resonating string when compared to the plucked string. So for example, the resonating string here is only 60% of the mass of the first string. What does that even mean? Well, let's listen to it and hear what it means. So there you go. And we can change the tuning. And if we want to hear more of this string too, you have the mixer over here, so we can pull that up. You can pull down string 1. So now we're hearing the resonating there. So that's pretty cool. And we can add more strings. We can do 3 strings if we want to. And we have the 3rd string here. So maybe we'll do it here, which I believe is a 7th versus a whole octave up. String. So now it's at a 3rd. And you can edit the connections of the springs versus rattles. So 0 would be there's no connection at all. Of course, right now it's being modulated by this LFO. So now you have much stronger connections and you're hearing more resonance. And you have gap here, and so gap increases the distance between the rattles so that they have more room to vibrate before they strike each other. So let's hear what that sounds like. Pretty cool. And you have different maps, so different configurations of the rattles, so we can hear what these sound like. Pretty cool. Then you've got, of course, your VCF filter over here, your cutoff, your resonance, your drive. You've got your delay, and then you've got reverb. Pretty cool. And so that's strings. Then you have strings plate here. So now you've got your strings and you've got your plate here. And so we can hear how this changes the sound. So you can edit the strings and the plate separately. So you can hear more of the plate. And then you have plates here where we can create all kinds of different sounds. And so plates here, you can have one plate connected to the ground or they can be connected to each other. So that'd be one plate connected to the ground, or you have 2 plates here. So let's do one plate, and they can be struck where it's just kind of, hit, or it can be driven with like a saw or sine wave or audio. So it's an oscillator tone that resonates the plate. Here at the driver, we're kind of determining where on the plate that tone is hitting. Of course, you get your tone and dampening, how massive the plate is. So strike is if you want more metallic sound. And where the microphone pickups are on the plate. So that's pretty cool. So now let's just hear some of the presets here. So it's not really a synth that you maybe would want to create an entire song with, but it's great for adding in extra textures, extra moods, and depending on the genre of music you make, you can really go a long way towards making your song sound very unique and different from what else is out there and give it a more natural, organic, analog feel versus just using a bunch of digital synths. All right, so now let's hear Modus in a real example. I put together a little song piece using just instruments from Modus. So this would be really great for maybe like a video game soundtrack or just kind of creating some kind of ambient music or like a soundscape or something. So this sounds pretty cool. And then I'm also doing some automation. I just want to show you real quick. So on this like bass plate guitar, I can see the preset names here. And so I'm removing the dampening and also increasing the tone over time for this. So you can see that here, the tone will go up and the dampening will come back down. So it's going to start off small and get kind of louder and brighter. And with the default here, I am doing a ton of automations here. I am automating tone, dampening, cutoff, connection strength, connection gap, and release. And you can kind of see the different automation lanes here. If I pull them down here, you can see all the different automation lanes that are going on. And the goal being just to have it start smaller, quieter, and darker, and then increase over time. So again, if you want to try it out for yourself, just go to orpheusaudioacademy.com/Modus or click my link in the description below. Now, if you want to check out another really awesome new plugin, check out my video on the screen right now, and I'll see you over there.